Peace and love, girlies. What is up, y'all? How are you? We got a girl call. All right. So, the full moon is here. The full moon is here. I have ritual services available at spiritualsboutique.com on my website if you guys are interested. I do have a sale going on. It's a blowout sale for my last remaining products over at spiritualsboutique.com/shop. Okay. Go ahead and check that out because it's first come, first serve. And once everything is sold out, it's sold out. Okay. That being said, let's get into your guys' messages and see what's going on for this crow call. What do they need to know for this crow call? All right. The lady came out. This could be you or whoever you're dealing with. Lady. What's going on here for today's crow call? Thank you. The moon and the stork. Okay, so immediately I'm hearing there's going to be some changes, all right? Some unexpected changes. Some things are going to be changing that you have no idea that is changing behind the scenes, all right? This moon cycle could be significant for you guys in regards to the shift and changes. The next upcoming, let's say, 29 to 32 days, all right? Some sort of decision. There was a delay in changes, okay? You may need to make some choices. What do they need to know? Okay. One more. What do they need to know? Just saw, yeah. Lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. New love is blossoming. Okay. Something is shifting emotionally for you. There's some changes in regards to stability in your household. It could be, you could be at a crossroads with a masculine, a friend. A friendship could be ending due to toxicity, deception, or lack of belief. Or what do you mean lack of belief? Lack of alignment with your belief system, okay? So there could be a friendship that is being dismantled because of deception. There could be some sort of changes in regards to the friendship dynamic between you and a masculine. A decision that you're making in regards to a masculine energy. All right. I'm seeing some sort of official documentation coming in. Subconsciously, you are disconnecting from something, someone, a particular place. You're clearing some sort of energy, this moon cycle, all right, with this full moon energy. There are changes occurring subconsciously and emotionally for you. You could be detaching subconsciously for a particular reason in order for you to adapt to certain changes or a certain environment or a certain lifestyle, okay? Your luck is starting to develop more, all right? April 20th could be significant for some of you guys. February 13th could be significant. February 12th could be significant. March 21st. It's interesting that they're giving me specific dates. These could be the dates in which, the shifts start to change for you. So like these changes. There's some sort of challenges in regards to who has access to you. All right. What do you mean by that? Yeah, some sort of somebody's emotions are clouded. And someone's going to be sending some sort of message that will heal something. All right. Mend something, restore something, acknowledge something. There is also something in regards to a popular, becoming popular and having a lot of messages. All right. There's a decision that you have to make in regards to your stability and your social connections. So your community, your social networking, social gatherings, you're healing your heart center. And there's something here. Okay, so there's two different masculine energies that I picked up on. One that could be a friend related situation, and then the other has something to do with, like, who is this masculine? It could be a family member. Okay. All right, let's see. What's today's protocol about? Give us some details. Describe this lady. Describe this lady so that way they'll know if it's them or someone that they're dealing with. Describe the lady, please. Tell us about this lady. All right, this lady feels trapped. She feels tied down. All right. This lady feels stuck. All right, we talked about the subconscious mind shifting and changing for this particular woman. Maybe she's confused about certain things. All right. She feels stuck in a particular certain type of mindset. Yeah, confusion came out. She's uncertain, okay, unclear, unsure about particular things, and she's stuck and trapped in a particular situation, or at least that's how she feels. She feels captivated by her own mind and her own thoughts. Looking at from this perspective, this particular woman has a connection to spiders, okay, spider spirit. Be significant. Staring at the sunrise or the sunset will actually assist this woman. All right, anything else? This woman is trying to alleviate herself from some sort of pain. All right. Or she's releasing this pain at this time. This woman struggles with boundaries. She needs to change the way she establishes boundaries. It's like drawing the line and saying no is not enough. All right. She could have been having issues with her intuition for some time. Her heart was saying one thing, her mind was saying another, her body was moving in accordance to what her spirit wanted, but she wasn't listening to herself. She has telepathy. She's gifted with telepathy. However, her telepathic gifts have been blocked. And her inner knowing has not been fully restored because of the situation that she's been going through. This woman feels as if, she's trapped in being attracted to a certain particular type of lifestyle, a certain particular type of people or connections. She feels trapped in feeling like she's tied down to constantly experiencing rejection, abandonment, or being dismissed. So this is an irrational feeling that this particular woman is experiencing. Again, this could be you or whoever you're dealing with, okay? There's something in the subconscious mind of this woman that she's conflicted about in regards to loyalty. She needs to establish a better understanding on the expectations of what loyalty is and when to truly trust someone, because she struggles with trusting herself sometimes. Sometimes when there's a lot of changes, she could become distracted or sidetracked, and she's working on that right now. I'm also seeing that from time to time when her intuition is blocked or she's not listening to her spirit, she feels as if some sort of witchcraft or hex or some sort of negativity is being bound to her or affecting her, when in reality it is her negative mindset that is blocking her intuition and not allowing her to understand herself or follow through with what her spirit is telling her. And again, that has a lot to do with whatever pain she is trying to release at this time around this full moon cycle. Okay, so it's hard for her, this particular woman, to manifest because of that confusing mindset that sometimes she gets into. And so she could get into this very compulsive, overthinking type of energy, and that within itself can slow or delay her manifestations, and that is the cause of, you know, certain things that manifest not in the best ways for her. Okay. And sometimes she doesn't feel that her manifestation abilities are as reliable. Again, that comes from having trust issues within herself. Okay, tell me more about this woman. Tell me more about this woman. Okay, we have fantasy with what? Conflict is in the reverse. Okay, one more. Time is in the reverse. Okay, I see that. I see it now. Okay. So this woman struggles with taking things head on. And it could be like a fight or flight situation type thing. So sometimes like she'll push things away, or she'll escape, or she'll like run or avoid. Okay. And that being said, it's not necessarily because she doesn't have time to process certain things. It's more so she's so overwhelmed and she gets confused and she's uncertain of what to do next. And then she doesn't listen to her intuition because of her feeling overwhelmed. And because, you know, she has not either changed the boundaries she established with certain people, situations, and places and things, it then becomes a distraction for her. And it kind of then puts her in this energy of, I'd rather just sit there and daydream about it instead of taking action and doing it. And so this particular woman is going to start experiencing certain changes now in her luck. There's this newfound luck that's going to start blossoming for this particular woman. And the changes here have actually been delayed for some time. So these changes should have actually occurred, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I would say 4 months ago. It was supposed to take place. However, she was stuck. She was stuck in this particular situation where she felt like, well, maybe I'm only supposed to experience these types of friendships. Maybe I'm only supposed to experience these types of business partnerships or business contracts or business relationships, or maybe I'm only supposed to experience this type of love. Maybe I only attract these type of people, or maybe I'm supposed to be stuck in this type of lifestyle. There's something in your subconscious mind for this woman that needs to be reprogrammed. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is you or the person that you're dealing with, but it is coming in your profile. Okay. So hold on. Let's get some more details here. Let's clear the space. So let's see what's going on here when it comes to what came out. Finality, farewells, leave behind, closure. In regards to adaptability, what's changing, what has been delayed, okay? So a closure of a chapter. Finally closing something up, all right? Give us some more details. Clarify what's going on there with the delays. The stork on the mountain, please. And this is telepathic communication, as well as the energy of communicating through clairsentience. Communicating through clairsentience is being able to feel someone's emotions, being able to be the understanding party in the situation. And this lady struggles with being that person that understands everyone, and also being that person that no one understands. What's going on here? Clarify the stork and the mountain. Okay, mistakes. All right. So it looks like they're building the storyline for this particular lady. Okay. So this could be you or the person that you're dealing with, Curly's. All right. And I'm gonna keep saying it like that. Okay. So this particular lady suffers from becoming overwhelmed because of her mistakes, her faults, her judgments, basically like how she judges the situation. Okay. Victim mentality for lack of a better word to describe it. Okay. That being said, this is what's in her subconscious mind. This is why she feels misunderstood half of the time. She could be definitely described as a lost soul. Her inner child is searching. It's funny how there's a moon here, as well as the moon card here. So the double confirmation with the moon energy is definitely affecting this woman. Okay. That being said, there needs to be some changes in the subconscious mind of this woman. She can't keep saying to herself that no one's going to get her, no one's going to understand her, no one's going to be there for her, no one's going to care about her, no one's going to show up for her. Because that energy is like, it's shifting into her reality. All right. Clarify the stork and the mountain. Pride. Sometimes it could be her own stubbornness that doesn't allow her to push past that belief system, doesn't allow her to push past the, the energy of like actually searching for someone that is going to assist and help. It's almost like as soon as she gets close enough to someone that can actually assist and help, she may ask for help for a little bit and then she kind of pulls away, or she makes more excuses for the people that don't show up for her. And then she gets into the situation or the scenario in which she then falls back into the situation in the loop of the victim mentality, where you have already been in the cycle of being the victim, and then you keep going back to the abuser, right? Keep going back to the abusive relationships, keep going back to the abusive environments. And then she faults herself because she let herself back into, let's say, the lion's den, right? But she's not realizing that she's a tiger or a tigress. Okay. Confirmation. And so she feels as if she's the stork. She feels as if she's vulnerable, a bird compared to like a lion or a tigress, right? This is like, again, imposter syndrome. And I talked about that in my OG Spiritualist channel over at Mika Star Psychic 444. So you guys may have some messages over there. I mean, that's what led me over here for the crow call. But anyway, that being said, this is your ego, the subconscious mind version of you, of your ego that's keeping you in this victim mentality. The fact that you identify as a lost soul is just you being stubborn. It's just you being stubborn because you feel like you're not going to be found, and because you set your mindset on not being found. Then what happens in your physical reality is that you become overlooked, is that people don't notice you, or is that you don't allow yourself to be noticed, for this particular lady. Okay. And this is why a lot of times people may misunderstand why you show up in the world the way you show up. And sometimes people take that as arrogance. Oh, you're arrogant, or you're conceited, or you're too much, or I don't know why you speak that way, or I don't know why you think that you can do those things, and things of that nature. And that's like, again, people misunderstanding the way you're showing up and why you're showing up. Okay. But that is a distraction within itself. So don't worry about that. All right. Clarify what's going on here with the stork in the mountain. These are delayed changes. So again, commitment. There's certain things that just didn't take place in certain relationships for you. All right. When I'm talking about, like, maybe somebody didn't keep promises. Maybe someone wasn't faithful. Maybe someone didn't actually, maybe someone showed you what non-commitment looks like, non-committal energy looks like, right? In order for you to look for fidelity, in order for you to make sure that, people say what they're going to do, that you look for integrity, right? Um, Certain things may not have played out in certain relationships. Maybe you might have not been in a committed relationship with a person, or maybe you didn't get into a commitment in a really long time and you're trying to figure out, well, what's taking so long. You get what I'm saying? Like, one day eventually I know that I'm going to be in a relationship and I'm going to be in love, but you just feel so blindsided of, like, what's going on. This lady, again, is harboring this victim mentality in her subconscious mind, and that is what's creating these particular scenarios, because you're kind of like limiting yourself in essence. It's almost like, it's not that you want to, it's like your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is basically like what's made up of everything that you have actually experienced. Your subconscious mind, think of it as your motherboard. Like, if you were a computer, your subconscious mind is your motherboard. It's everything you ever absorbed in your life. All the movies, all the songs, everything you physically saw with your eyes, everything that you heard, everything that you liked, everything that you don't like, everything that you're confused about, everything that you're certain about, is just this hard drive of your subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind, it's a very chaotic place, right? And so your subconscious mind, you have to make sure that just like a computer or a phone, you want to make sure from time to time you factory reset that shit, because it starts to what? It starts to lag. It starts to act up, right? And so how does it look like in your physical reality when your subconscious mind is making you physically act up, right? And so that would look like when your ego is starting to make you self-sabotage, or when you're starting to ridicule yourself, when in reality, when you start tripping and you shouldn't be tripping, when you start feeling like you're being targeted, but in reality you're targeting yourself, right? It's like, that's what it looks like when you start, when your subconscious mind starts making you physically go haywire, or making you emotionally go haywire. And then it starts affecting commitments. It starts affecting relationships. And if it doesn't affect those relationships, it affects how you see them. It affects how you operate in them, or how you push them away, or how you pull them towards you, right? And so this woman is going through these particular things, and that's where the victim mentality is coming from that subconscious mind. All right, so it's time to factory reset and completely delete the victim mentality. Confirmation. All right, anything else? Karma is in the reverse. This has nothing to do with karma. This has absolutely nothing to do with karma. And that could be a belief system in the mindset that needs to be, again, reconstructed. All right. One more for the karma. Clarify the karma. Yeah, it's like that victim mentality is sitting there making her think, hey, there's a reason you did this. You did this to yourself. It's all your fault. That's all bullshit. I'm here to tell you that's all bullshit. You did not do this to yourself. All right. You don't owe shit to anybody. The same thing with that victim mentality with the relationships. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. So in order for me to have a marriage, in order for me to be able to have this type of commitment, in order for someone to be able to follow through on their promises, I have to do this. No, these people have to take accountability for themselves. You can't blame yourself for something that they were supposed to do, for something that they said they were going to do, for something that they made you think that they were going to actually, like, that coercion shit is bullshit. Okay. And so sometimes that victim mentality could come from from your childhood. Okay. Because the child is there, and the child is about to have a brand new chapter of luck and happiness and transformation and healing and just playfulness. Okay. Clarify that karma energy. Foundation. So that means that you founded the energy of karma. Like you feel more secure with thinking that it's better to think that the circumstances that happen because of some sort of karma. Because it's like your logical explanation for this lady, okay? But in reality, the foundation of that karma is not real, right? The foundation of that's actually happening. The foundation of this is not karma. The foundation of this is family. This comes back to family. Family made you feel like the victim. Family made you feel misunderstood. Family made you feel like a lost soul. And so reconstructing the idea of what family is. That's crazy because that's literally the almost last line that I said for the Mika Star Psychic 444 channel. And I just finished. So some of you guys may like look past life. And some of you guys, it's like this energy of like, so you've already learned a lot of these lessons from your last family. And when I say your last family, I mean your past life family. You've already paid all types of karmic debt with your past life family that you do not have to face in this life any longer. Okay? But however, you guys are experiencing these deja vu, repetitive pattern moments, all right, in your life, in your foundation, and you start again victim mentality. You're not understanding why things are not clicking for other people, right? And why you have to show up is look, stress is here. Like you're stressed out by other people's issues. And that's like the other people's arguments. And this has nothing to do with you, but you feel like you're caught in the middle all the time. All right. And for an umbrella, I think spectrum. It's a spectrum of things. It doesn't only have to be family arguments. It could be financial arguments. It could be, you just calling me to complain. I am not a hotline for complaints. You get what I'm saying? And that should be your subconscious. That's how you should reprogram your mind. I am not a hotline for complaints. Boundary. I am not a hotline for complaints. I am not a complaint department. I am not the HR for my family. I'm not the HR for people's drama. Okay? Is what this lady needs to reprogram. All right? Clarify this victim mentality or victimizing your mistakes. Pain came out. This is where your pain is. Apprehension. Your back pain. Look at that. Your back pain, your shoulders, your hips. Yeah. The back, the neck. Ooh, that neck, a lot of tension right here. The shoulder blades, the lower back. That's where your pain is. This is the victim mentality. It's a lot. And so you have to be cautious with that energy. So that breaking point. Clarify that victim mentality, please. Give them more information. Why is this scroll call coming through at this time? Look at that. Escaping came out. There's a lot of things came out. Escaping. Memories. Feeling empty. All right. Family came out in the reverse. Confirmation. And that has something to do with communication via text message. Okay. It's like you're expected to show up as someone that's shallow, someone that only thinks about themselves, someone that whenever they do ask for help, they're always in trouble, right? But the thing is that like people don't think about that about themselves. They don't think that way about themselves. Like your peace is being robbed because peace is in the reverse. You don't feel at balance, in harmony with yourself, because you're often misunderstood. And that constantly makes you feel like, all right, well, I have to just avoid people. I have to avoid situations. I have to avoid having these types of conversations with people, or I have to, like, let's not talk about that. I have to constantly block, 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 block. But that gets tiresome. That gets lonely. It's ridiculous, you know? And constantly pushing and pushing and pushing away, you start to feel like something's wrong with you, right? When in reality, you know, that victim mentality came from the foundation of the family. And so once you heal that victim mentality, once you shift it, I don't want to say heal it, once you shift it, once you transmute it, once you change it into something else, into another belief system, you know, that you're not the victim, that an abuser cannot abuse you, that you can identify abuser and push the abuser away before they get a chance to abuse you. Once you have that type of mentality, then things are going to shift for you. But a lot of this comes from you dwelling a lot in the past relationships, where people, you know, maybe bittersweet situations where people didn't show up all the way, or people broke promises, right? Where you swore someone was family and they ended up not being family. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys, it could have been the loss of family. It could have been the loss of children. It could have been, like, there's a lot of loss here. And it's not just, you know, in the physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's psychological, right? And so it starts to affect what you're trying to attract. You start to now escape or run away from or push away the very thing that you're trying to attract, because you're in that misunderstood energy and you feel like a lost soul. So you feel like you're never going to find the thing that you actually want to find, or the thing that you want to find you. You understand? Okay, so this lady is going through it. All right, if this is you, I'm sending you light and love, baby. Sending you light and love. All right, let's get some more messages. So why is the crow call here? Why is the crow call here? What do they need to know? What do they need to know for this crow call? So this is why the changes were delayed. This is why things were going so fucking slow. So what can they do to speed things up, to get things moving and shaking? What do they need to do in order for them to get that clarity? All right, thank you. All right, we have memories. There's something in regards to memories. Muscle memory. All right. Think about what you reminisce often. What is that? Obscurity, secrets. All right. So things that you conceal, meaning you often think about this, however, you don't tell people about it, right? You often, you know, feel like relive emotions, because I'm hearing sometimes it's not memory, sometimes you relive emotions. So there's emotions, there's emotional trauma that's trapped in your body that needs to be released. It's not just about reprogramming your mind, but it's also about releasing those trapped emotions. So somatic exercises, like opening your hips, open up your heart chakra. So do a stretch, hold both hands, as if like, how do I say this? So I want you to do this. See this hand? I want you to grab your thumb, and I want you to grab this hand, and I want you to lift it all the way over your head, all the way until you can't anymore. And I want you to stretch and open that heart chakra. You need to be able to do that a few times a day, because there's energy that's trapped. Okay, it could be trapped in your heart center, it could be trapped in your shoulders, again, your neck. There's like tension, okay? And if it's your heart chakra, so that's the front and the back of your heart chakra, the back of your throat, so like your back chakras could be needing to be cleared out, okay? Like you're holding on to other people's bullshit, or other people's secrets, right? You know, you're not a safety deposit box. of problems and secrets and drama and all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what you're here for. And you're constantly dwelling on whether or not you could have changed certain outcomes and situations because you may have known information, or you may have been coerced to lie and you didn't even know you were being lied to, or it's there's a lot of things here that you could blame yourself because it was a mystery at some point in time, and because you didn't know, you blame yourself. And sometimes, again, with that moon card energy, you have the moon again. Your moon sign is very significant in regards to how to do your healing work or how to prepare your healing work moving forward. All right, so your moon sign, look more into your moon sign, your moon and your Venus. Okay, what else? Clarify the memories and obscurity. It's like the shadows of the past. Yeah, return. Wow. This is what it is. I see it now. I see it so clearly. You just feel entitled to fix things that did not go right the first time or the second time or the third time. You feel the burden, the responsibility. You feel accountable to fix things. And that comes from what your family, the foundation that they put into your mind, okay? So maybe you're the fixer in the family, or maybe you're the glue to the family. You know what I'm saying? There's something that you're healing here. And oftentimes, and this is how you feel, like you feel constantly watched or observed or studied, okay? Like if I don't do this, I'm gonna get in trouble. If I don't do that, this is what I hear it. I hear your inner child saying that. If I don't do this, I'm gonna get in trouble. If I don't try my best, it's not enough. I'm not enough. Everything I do is not enough. And because I didn't know that, I should have known that. I'm so stupid. I there's like something here, like I don't know if that's like what they used to say to you, like, oh, are you stupid, or why are you doing it that way? Don't do it that way. Let me do it. Get away from here. Like, I don't know. They're very trigger warning, you guys. Trigger warning. I'm so sorry, but like that's what I'm hearing is like feeling ridiculed, and now you're the person that's doing this to yourself because it's like you're reliving these memories. It's like a tape recorder in your mind, and it's like triggering your body, it's triggering your emotions and stuff like that. And so sometimes you could even get into certain relationships that re-trigger this type of these feelings and these memories, and it's like a bittersweet thing because like you care about your family and you love them so much, but that is toxic. That's not okay, right? And so this could be like, I could be talking about family members and stuff like that will say certain things or unvalidate you, or make you feel like you're overreacting, or make you feel like, oh, that's not a big deal, or whatever that is. Like they'll undermine you, or like something like that. It's, give me one more. Like sometimes making amends is not going to be enough, because if you guys can say sorry, and they can say sorry, and you guys can hug it out and everything could be great, and then because they don't change who they are, because they don't change how they speak to you, because they don't change how they see you and how they respect you and how they acknowledge you, it's just going to go back to feeling that energy and feeling triggered. So it's like, yeah, we have shallow that came out. Some of you guys suffer from feeling empty inside. Like you were doing all the pouring out and there was no one pouring back into you. And so you suffer from constantly searching for someone to pour into you, when in reality you should be pouring back into yourself. And then apologies in the reverse. Some of you guys haven't even received the apologies yet. It's like every time you try to have a conversation to finally, put it to bed, it's like motherfuckers start jumping up and down. How many's gonna jump up and down to hit themselves upside the head over and over and over again because motherfuckers don't want to push the bed? Like, that's what I'm seeing. Like, it's like you became the mother. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. And they just keep going. You're just like, please stop. Like, because you're hurting me now. You're hurting me because I see you keep doing it and it's hurting me. You get what I'm saying? It's like you're jumping, you're falling, but you're falling on me. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of this karma that these people are supposed to face is silent. You're not even supposed to hear about the things that they're going through and things of that nature. So when you hear them go through things that are struggles, it's like you don't even want these people to go through hard times. You don't want them to go through karma and shit like that. And you don't want to hear about things like that. You just want a fucking apology. But guess what? Motherfuckers don't want to come around and just apologize and take accountability for what they're doing. Right? It's like, I know you said this to me when I was little. I was going, what are you talking about? That never happened. Oh, you're being so dramatic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying this. It's like, this is why this victim mentality is a problem right now. Okay? This is why. All right? And it's like, and this is also why you constantly give people second chances over and over and over again, because you wished as a child that, when you didn't get it right the first time, that you would have had a fucking second chance before someone pushed you and ridiculed you and said that you were wrong, or that you were slow, or that you couldn't do something right, or, you were getting in trouble, you were getting punished immediately. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. And it bleeds. Now it's bleeding onto your relationships because you're like, okay, well, let me give them a second chance. Let me give them the benefit of a doubt. But in reality, it's you trying to give that second chance to yourself. It's you feeling like, oh, well, maybe I didn't do something right in this relationship, or for this particular situation. You put it where it fits. For this particular situation and circumstance. And, because maybe I did something wrong, then like, okay, let me give me a second chance. When in reality, you're saying, okay, I'm gonna give you a second chance. Your inner child is saying you're trying to give yourself a second chance through these people. And these people keep showing you that they don't deserve second chances. It's not you that doesn't deserve a second chance. When you tell somebody no, when you tell somebody they don't deserve a second chance, it's not you telling yourself that you don't deserve a second chance. And that's where like there's a disconnect with what your subconscious mind is trying. It's like telling you in your ear. That's where I start talking about the shadow attribute, right? Your shadow self starts nagging at you and saying things, very mean, like very malicious things to you, right? To taunt you into going back into that comfort zone or conformity of, being used to being in pain, being used to not having high expectations, being used to the toxicity, being used to people misusing you and just like throwing you around whenever the fuck they want to and things of that nature, not respecting you, right? Not showing up for you the way they're supposed to. That's where that victim mentality comes from. It's not necessarily because you were a victim to anything, even though maybe by coincidence you could have been. But let me tell you, that was by coincidence. But everything that's happening right now is because of the implanted information, the implanted experiences that you went through. That's this lady right now. That's what this lady is going through. All right. So what can this lady do? All right. We have karma, realization, confusion, realizing that their karma is not yours, realizing that their mistakes is not your fault, realizing that their consequences that they have to pay is not your responsibility. Don't put those faults on you. Don't sit there and stay confused or uncertain on, why people did certain things. Sometimes it's just for you to wake up and realize that's your problem. That's not my problem. You got yourself into that. I didn't tell you to do that. In fact, I told you to do the opposite, but you didn't want to listen to me, right? And realizing who is listening to you and who is not. Who heard you, but chose not to listen to you. All right? Confirmation. Who's reaching out all the time, calling you, and you have to pick up when they freaking call you all the time. But then when you call them, they're not picking up your phone call when it's an actual crisis and an emergency, right? You don't have to pay somebody else's debt. You're not responsible for their situations. Yeah, that's where you're trapped. You're trapped in other people's karma. You're trapped in other people's consequences. You're trapped in other people's problems. And because you've experienced that victim mentality, right? Or you've developed, there we go. You've developed that victim mentality for this lady, right? And you fault yourself often on your mistakes because you're confused on why you did certain things, or why, certain things didn't play out, or, why you couldn't realize certain things sooner, right? You then start feeling mixed signals about yourself. You start then wanting to do what? Close the heart center. Block off your emotions. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel like the victim. So I don't want to feel love. So I'm not gonna date, or I'm not gonna have friends, or I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna be rejected. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be told no. I don't want to feel, insecure. I don't want to feel unloved. And then you stay trapped and tied down to these particular consequences of constantly, cleaning up other people's BS, while fantasizing about a better tomorrow, while fantasizing about a healthy relationship, while fantasizing about taking care of yourself the way you should. But there's something about feeling trapped or tied down to not being capable of it. But you are capable of it. You're more than capable of this. And that's what your spirit guides are trying to say. Like, this is enough. Enough is enough. We've delayed so many good things, so many good, lucky, beautiful, amazing things, so that way your inner child can play, so your inner child can laugh, so your inner child can heal. You've delayed it for too long. We want you to get back on track, okay? That victim mentality ain't it. We need to destroy it. We need to destroy it. Or transmute it. We can always empower ourselves by transmuting things that are getting on our nerves. Okay? So let's get into like the clover and the child. What is this? Because we're talking about reciprocity. You reap what you sow, right? If you're constantly sowing into fixing problems, then you're constantly going to receive problems. It's not you that are creating the problems. This lady is not creating the problems. The problems are being brought to this lady, and she's confused every time. Like, what? Why? Like, why are you bringing me this? Why are you telling me this? Why are you talking about this person to me? I told you I don't want to talk about that person. I told you I don't want to talk about those things. I told you not to speak to me that way. I'm confused. Why are you doing this? It's confusing. I'm like, what? You don't understand? Because I don't understand. So let's see what's going on here. The clover and the child. It's all reciprocity. So if you just start fixing things for yourself instead of other people, you're going to start seeing that, pretty soon there's nothing else to fix within yourself. Healing. Healing. Release. Let it go. That's funny because I said put your hands over your head and open up your chest. That's hilarious. Healing. That's what they want you to do. Release, purify, cleanse. This is not yours. Not your baggage. I'm hearing the color purple. You just took all my stuff, right? But in reality, at this point, you taking everybody else's stuff at home, and you just taking it onto your body, right? And this is forbidden, non-committal, sometimes even sexual energy. And so they want you to heal. They want you to heal from certain intimate experiences. They want you to heal from, however, like the ridicule that other people could have put on your body, the stigmatism, right, of how you dress or how you look or how you present yourself or how you show your body, right? Because sometimes, you know, you could wear an outfit, you could show your legs, or you show your arm, or you show your chest, or something like that, and you feel insecure. And you need to heal that. You need to heal that, because a lot of that stems from the foundation of what people used to say. This could be through bullying. This could be through, you know, judgment. You know, maybe someone in your family could have said, and it might have not even been directed to you. Understand this. Your subconscious mind is the motherboard of everything you've ever heard, everything you've ever felt, tasted, experienced, and smelled. Okay, everything. So you might have heard, this is why when you hear a couple arguing, okay, and this is like family, okay, it could be aunts, uncles, mothers, godmoms, whatever, okay? When you hear someone that you care about arguing and going through a particular situation and experiencing some sort of toxic environment or toxic connection or a toxic drug or anything like that, okay? Well, drugs, period, are toxic. But you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is when you hear those things, they don't just go in one ear and go out the other, how they used to say to us when we were growing up. Well, you just one ear and one out the other. No, it actually implants into your subconscious mind. So even though you consciously weren't registering something, it definitely did register in your subconscious mind. It's just sitting there and needs to be removed. So you could have heard someone be ridiculed. You know, a lot of the social standards back in the 90s, 2000s, even 2010s, okay? There was a lot of not so good body positive for plus size women, all right? Big waisted women, voluptuous curved women, big breast women. You get what I'm saying? A lot of that looked like, oh, you're fat. You can't fit into this category. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of that, that some of you guys could be suffering from that too, from the victim mentality of like, oh, I did this to myself. I did this to my body. This is my body's fault, right? I did this, right? But in reality, again, it can be the fact that, you know, there could be hormonal imbalances and things of that nature. People are talking about right now in the spiritual community and the healthy movements in regards to food community. When you talk about, you know, PCOS and how PCOS actually creates obesity. And a lot of obesity has a lot to do with hormones. And the fact that there's hormone imbalances, and the fact that the hormone is creating more cortisol, and the fact that the more stressed you are. I mean, nowadays there's so many things to stress about. You freaking scroll on social media and there's freaking places being blown up. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not safe anywhere. Like it used to be like, all right, I'm not going to turn on the news because I don't want to see it. Now the news is in your face on social media 24/7 when you're scrolling. So now you have to detox from your phone too. You get what I'm saying? So now like you have to really figure out like the stress is impacting you, not just spiritually, not just emotionally, hormonally, and physically. All right. And so a lot of things that are happening here, you're putting this the victim mentality of making it, oh, it's your fault. You did it. You did. It's you. You're doing this to yourself. But in reality, yes, You have control of changing the narrative for yourself. Always. We all have free will. But don't sit there and create a harder time for yourself than you're already experiencing on a day-to-day basis based off of things that you limit yourself from. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do this, or I can't experience that. I can't do this now. There's no instant gratification for me, or I'm constantly going to have to experience this, right? Or people don't commit to me because I'm just not that type of person to commit to, I guess, or whatever you have experienced in regards to sexual energy and things that need to be healed in regards to that. Some of you guys could be survivors, all right? And if you're survivors, sometimes people don't like that word of a survivor because it still reminds you of the fact that you were at some point in time some form of motherfucking victim. And I completely get it. And so then what? Empower yourself. Figure out ways to empower yourself and get the fuck away from people that take your power away. Get away from people that laugh and ridicule you trying to heal, you trying to create the best version of yourself, you trying to create this new lifestyle for you that you did not experience when you were a child, okay? Because I'm seeing 2:12 and now I'm seeing 2:13. So it's like this one step, just one step into shifting the mentality of I have to stay stuck here to I'm going to make my first move. I'm going to make the first baby step. It doesn't have to be a jump. It just has to be a step. And that first step is to healing, is to releasing, is to not holding on to it, okay? Because you deserve this love. You deserve this happiness. You deserve new experiences, all right? A new chapter, finally. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Running is in the reverse. See, running is like running away from the problem. No, you have to address the problem. There's no more ghosting the problem. There's no more numbing it. All right? There's no more, I don't see that. I didn't hear that. They didn't mean that. No, there's no more of that. There's no more of that. Confirmation. All right? You have commitment, heal. Heal from certain relationships. Some of you guys need to heal from certain relationships still. And that's probably why there was a delay in certain changes in regards to certain relationships for you. All right? And certain relationships didn't change because they weren't willing to heal with you. All right? Distance is in the reverse here. So that whole separating yourself and distancing yourself, that's not going to resolve things. That's not going to resolve things. It's not about distancing yourself. It's about coming into contact with people that you want to be around with. The fact that you don't have to distance yourself at all. So shifting the mentality of I have to get away from that place. So like sometimes it's not even a freaking environment. Sometimes it's just people. Sometimes it just means that you need to be with a certain crowd of people. Have you ever been to a place with different people? You've been in that place before, maybe a year ago, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe like whatever time frame. You were there before, but you were there with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people. And then you go to that same place with a different crowd and different people, and it just feels so different. It just feels like a whole vibe. It feels like, wow, like I should have did this before with these type of people, like because these are my type of people, right? And you start feeling like, wow, maybe I wasn't the problem because you fucking weren't. Wake up. You were never the problem. You were always the solution to those people's problems. And they sat there and they try to fucking make you feel like you were the problem the whole fucking time. That's the problem. That's a real problem right there. And constantly having to distance yourself, constantly having to black sheep yourself, constantly having to fucking like sacrifice yourself. That's not fair to you. That's not fair. That is what you keep replaying in your head. That's the victim mentality. Those are the mistakes. Oh, maybe I should have never went to that job, or maybe I should have. No, maybe you should have never talked to Maybe you should have never invited those people to your house. Maybe you should have set, boundaries. Work as at work and home is at home, right? And maybe the work environment would have been so much better. Or maybe, coworkers is a coworker, that's not my friend. Maybe you shouldn't have been telling them about, your personal life and things of that nature. That those were the mistakes. You get what I'm saying? But that don't put yourself back into that victim mentality where you start feeling invisible again. Where you start feeling like, all right, well, I gotta run away again with my tail in between my legs because like this is not working. No, those people weren't working. Those people that were shifting you back into that victim mentality, it's almost like they were trying to beat you into submission. Fuck them. Absolutely not. This is what this lady is going through. This is what this lady has been through. This is what this lady has experienced. And this is what this lady is holding over her own head. No one is holding that over her head but herself and her shadow. And this is why healing is important. Because if you put healing in the back burner and you put everybody else's problems in front of yours, it leads to a mental breakdown. It leads to an emotional breakdown. It leads to you abandoning yourself when you need yourself the most. What do they need to do to fix this? What do they need to do to fix this? I don't know, you guys. It's like I came around and I'm giving y'all a whole spiritual TED talk right now because come on, get out. Look at that. Open heart was in the reverse. Oh my goodness. Open the heart center. Open it up again. You need to feel. It's okay to feel. Just because you felt pain doesn't mean that you don't deserve to feel pleasure. You deserve to feel pleasure. You close off your heart center, then you don't receive. You can't receive your blessings. You can't receive laughter. You can't receive, unexpected things. You get what I'm saying? It's hard for you to be vulnerable with people. You need to heal that. How are you going to blossom if you keep closing your petals, baby? Open. So the honeybees can come around. Open the petals. Come on. What do they need to do? Memories. Oh, I know it's hard. It keeps coming back up, yo. And I know. It's almost like PTSD. Somebody could be really suffering from PTSD. And PTSD, let me tell y'all, it doesn't have to be like some crazy thing that happened. It could be emotional too. PTSD could be emotions. It doesn't have to be something physical. Sometimes it could be either psychological or emotional. So let's say you're watching a movie, okay? So a lot of times this happens for a lot of people, especially if you're someone that experienced a lot of pain in your life. You're watching a TV show or a movie or something like that, and like someone says something and you feel it. You remember that feeling. You remember, I remember that, and you start tearing up and you start crying, okay? It's not because, oh my God, it was a really good movie and it's like a tearjerker. No, it's like, wow, like I am that person on the screen. I remember that. I know what that person means when they say that line. I live that. I experience that. And that's why you start, because your muscle memory, your heart is a fucking muscle. Your heart is a fucking muscle. Your tongue is a muscle. So when you hear certain things, ooh, muscle memory. When you feel certain things, ooh, muscle memory. All right. Your body, it has this, I forget what it's called, but there's like the wrapping of the muscles and the wrapping of your ligaments and the wrapping of your bones is actually all that's where your emotions run. You can feel your sensations. That's your emotional body. So that's why when you feel certain things, you feel chills and things of that nature, that's your emotional body. That's like right on top. And then there's like your physical body, of course, right? And so like that being said, emotionally, you need to reprogram these things. So you need to be able to experience simultaneously. There is a balance. You have to be able to experience pain and pleasure at the same time without sitting there and ridiculing yourself of what happened in the past. Okay? That's what they're saying. We have depth. This is the awareness, being aware. Okay, does this feel good? Does this feel bad? Where is this coming from? Where is this stemming from? Let's address it. Let's heal it. Let's not run away from it anymore. Let's not quiet it down anymore. Let's not silence our pain. Let's not silence our experience any longer. Some of you guys, you need to make that song. You need to write that book. I don't give a fuck if you start vlogging and airing out everybody and exposing everybody. Guess what? It's time. It is time for you to show up for yourself. It's time for you to finally release all the things that were not yours, that you absorbed. It's time to let it go. It's time. All right? That it's not like you can't long for something if you're still in the past with past influences and attachments and third party situations and affected by your peers and affected by your coworkers, and you're constantly resisting yourself, constantly suppressing things. Okay, you can't show up for yourself when all of this is happening. And so some of you guys, you can go on your healing journey on your own, and you can do your journaling sessions and all of that on your own. And some of you guys, you may need a little push. You may need somebody to hold your hand and help you. You may need a spiritual teacher. You may need a therapist or a counselor, or you may need some sort of life coach. You may need some sort of support system. You need someone to be able to walk you through it, that has been through it themselves, that can coach you through it. Okay, someone that can be there for you, that can see you for who you really are, and is not there to sit there and ridicule you, but to help you become your best self. Those are the people that you need in your corner right now. That's what your inner child is saying. I need someone that I can laugh and laugh and snort. It's so funny, like, and not feel like, oh my God, that was like a crazy ass laugh. I should have never laughed like that in front of them. Like, no, like it's okay, just laugh. Be like that big jelly fucking belly up and down fucking laugh. You get what I'm saying? Sitting there like talking about things that you keep to yourself, that maybe somebody else might have the same opinion, and you're like, oh my God, you like that too? I thought, I don't know, putting jelly and butter in I don't know, a bagel together was weird. Like, like I thought that putting ketchup on pizza was weird. Like, I don't know, like I thought I didn't want to eat pizza like that in front of people. So like I haven't ate pizza in front of people in a really long time because I put ketchup in my pizza. Like, like whatever the fuck it is, like it could be something random. Like it could be like, a type of music that people wouldn't normally think that you would listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, you need to free your spirit. You can't keep running away from yourself. You can't keep running away from an identity that you are, right? It's almost like for the LGBTQ folk, it's almost like, having that internalized hatred for yourself, until you finally say, you know what, enough is enough. And I'm out and I'm proud and that's it, right? And so like the same thing when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to your belief system in regards to the government, in regards to like your family, in regards to society, in regards to men or women, or in regards to yourself, whatever the fuck it is, you should be able to just fucking say how you fucking feel and not feel ridiculed for expressing how the fuck you feel. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not disrespecting anyone, you're just being yourself. Like, what the fuck? Why can't you wear that type of clothing? I'm expressing myself. Look at that confirmation. Money, bitch. Ha! Money. My style makes me money. Why are you mad? Because I look fabulous? You mad because I look fabulous? Because you didn't think about the design that I made myself? You didn't think about throwing this together the way I did? And now you're mad? And you want to ridicule me? Because it looks better on me than you? Okay? So be yourself. You're running away from the best version of yourself, and it could actually be delaying money. It could be delaying again with your heart chakra being closed off like that, because you're sitting there like blaming yourself for certain situations that occurred to you, and it happened to you. That's not fair. That's not fair, because now you're closing out money opportunities. Now you're closing out meaning friends. Now you're closing out opportunities for you to be able to, I don't know, travel the world. You know what I'm saying? That's not fair. Just because you've been through a situation doesn't mean that you have to constantly relive it. That's not fair to you. All right? Anything else? Oh, you have a quote. There is no other spiritual teacher than your own soul. There is no other spiritual teacher than your own soul. Your own soul is going to teach you everything that you need to know. Everybody else could be a mentor, an advisor. We just call them an advisor. You can advise me whatever, and you could take whatever you're going to take, and you're going to keep it moving. But only have people that are going to support you in your corner. That's what you need. I'm going to leave it like that. Peace, y'all.